paper 20th Century Malayalam Literature in English Translation. Core paper opted for 3rd semester BA English students. It was a book like this, a blue lined book just like this one. I had written Om at the top and started writing. At the top of the second story, I wrote Sri Ramajayam. When I was writing the second story, my husband was in Delhi, an MP. She closed the book and kept it on the shelf. I wanted so much to see Delhi, but he didn't take me. The answer every time was later. Later. Time passed. Once during the long vacation, he took mother and children to see Delhi. If I too were to go, who would look after the cows? Who would light the lamp at father's asthitara? These were mother's questions. Anyway, I could never go. I never did. Delhi കാണാൻ പറ്റില്ലല്ലേ? As if divulging a dangerous secret, the old woman leaned towards the girl. That was when I wrote this second story. Now the girl became more interested in the old woman. What was that about? She queried. A woman writer. She writes stories under a male pseudonym and sends them to magazines. At last, one of her stories is awarded a prize and people come searching for her house. On knowing about that, her husband said, "Oh, it was indeed a story that I wrote." So when the writer is awarded, her husband said that it was he who has written all these stories. The old lady laughed, showing her small false teeth. Desire. What desires? ഇതൊക്കെ സ്വന്തം ജീവിതത്തിൽ സംഭവിച്ചതാവാം അല്ലേ? When she replaced the book and took another, the girl wished to learn the rest of the story. What about the third story? She inquired. The old woman was about to take another book. At that instant, Padmakshi came through the doorway holding some vessels. Valyame, oh, have you begun studying for the exams again? Kaliyaki choikkunalle Padmakshi. Padmakshi asked loudly, mockingly. It is so long since you started studying. When is this going to end? Looking at the girl, she winked as if to a small child. Then she placed the vessels on the table. Kanji in a small vessel, a broad steel plate with rounded edges to pour it out and drink. 2 papadams in another small plate. Valyame, don't you want any food? Come take the kanji. Take your medicine for the afternoon and sleep for a while. I will swab your body as soon as you wake up. Food കഴിച്ചു കിടക്കാൻ റെസ്റ്റ് എടുക്കാൻ പറയുകയാണല്ലേ? Don't raise your voice, girl. The old woman chilled gently. I can hear, you know. Oh, so I am at fault. The thick muscles on Padmakshi's face moved contemptuously. She turned to the girl. Mole, why didn't you go for the wedding? She spoke accusingly. Didn't Srimon pursue you a lot? Won't everyone be eager to see the new bride? So who is this young lady? She is the wife of Srimon. Her husband's name is Srimon. And she is her new bride. The girl did not reply. The old lady simply laughed. The girl was interested in hearing the rest of the story, but the old lady was silent. She took the kanji Padmakshi poured out for her. Then she walked to the wash basin. Removing her false teeth, she washed them and put them in a glass near the basin. Then, wiping her hands and face with a towel on the stand, she came walking slowly. She took the glass of water and the tablet that Padmakshi had taken from the bottle on the table and was holding out to her. The girl could see the difficulty with which the tablet and water were going down the wrinkled throat. The tablet engaged in a fight with that thick violet vein. Then it gradually disappeared. The old lady gently lay on the bed. The girl's curiosity to hear the rest of the story was increasing. She had an old book, has been searching for it ever since she lost her memory, Padmakshi said secretly. She would climb up to the attic and go down to the cellar to search for it. Finally, fed up with this, Radhachichi gave her some old books of Srimon and Minimol. That turned out to be a relief. She would spend her time turning them over. The girl could not help sighing. You come along, Mole. Now Valliyamma will sleep. She will lie like this till 5 in the evening. When she collected the vessels and went out, the girl stood, not sure what to do. The third story she repeated unknowingly. The old lady forced open her drooping eyelids and with great difficulty determined the girl's location in that room. Then smiling cruelly said, "Unnatural death." The girl could not comprehend. The old lady touched the violet vein on her neck. When you tie the noose, it should tighten here on this vein. Who knew that? അല്ലേ, കഴുത്തിൽ കയറിട്ട് കുരുക്കുമ്പോഴത്തേക്ക് ആ കുരുക്ക് എവിടെ വീഴണം? ഷുഡ് ടൈറ്റൻ ഹിയർ ഓൺ ദിസ് വെയിൻ. ഈ വയലറ്റ് വെയിനിലാണ് അത് കുരുങ്ങേണ്ടത്. എ നാച്ചുറൽ ആൻഡ് അൺനാച്ചുറൽ ഡെത്ത്. Who knew that? The girl's body trembled under the influence of an emotion akin to fear. ഇത് പറയുന്നത് കേട്ടപ്പോഴത്തേക്ക് she trembled under the emotion, that is fear. Don't err on the vein, she reminded, closing her eyes. If you go wrong, you will lose your memory. ആ വെയിൻ്റെ അടുത്തല്ല ആ മുറുക്ക് വീഴുന്നെങ്കിൽ യു വിൽ ലൂസ് യുവർ മെമ്മറി. എങ്ങനെ ആ ഓൾഡ് ലേഡിക്ക് മെമ്മറി ലൂസായതെന്നുള്ള ഒരു ജസ്റ്റ് ഒരു ഹിൻ്റാണ് അവിടെ പറയുന്നത് അല്ലേ. So if you go wrong, you will lose your memory. So take care of your vein at your neck. The old woman did not say anything again. When Srijit returned late that night, the girl was standing before the mirror, inspecting her outstretched neck. So Srimon, കല്യാണം കഴിഞ്ഞ് തിരിച്ചു വന്നപ്പോഴത്തേക്ക് this young lady was inspecting her outstretched neck. കഴുത്തിൽ എന്തോ നോക്കുകയാണല്ലേ. What are you looking for? He asked in the irritated tone of a lord who had not received due respect. താൻ വന്നത് നോക്കാതെ കണ്ണാടിയിൽ തന്നെ നോക്കിയിരിക്കുന്ന തൻ്റെ വൈഫിനോട് he was asking in an irritated tone, that of a lord. A vein, she replied agitatedly. The vein of memory. എന്തിനെയാണ് സെർച്ച് ചെയ്യുന്നത്? ഇറ്റ് ഈസ് എ വെയിൻ. ആൻഡ് ഏത് വെയിനെയാണ്? The vein that if it goes wrong can lose your memory power. So I was searching for the vein of memory. അത് തെറ്റാൻ പാടില്ലല്ലേ. You have to die, otherwise you will lose your memory. To sum up, the vein of memory draws on the idea of kinship, that is friendship between women. It shows women as the owners of the same heritage in the history of mankind. എല്ലാ സ്ത്രീകളുടെയും ജീവിതകഥ എന്താണ്? ഇറ്റ് ഈസ് ഓൾമോസ്റ്റ് ദ സെയിം അക്രോസ് ജനറേഷൻസ് എന്നാണ് പറയുന്നത്. Their experience, doubts, fears and struggles remain the same across generations. One woman's strife becomes the other's. Their joys are shared, so are their sorrows. Although the old woman loses her memory, she is able to relate her experience to the young girl. Those experiences are not aligned to the girl. സെയിം എക്സ്പീരിയൻസ് തന്നെയാണ്, അതിൽ കൂടെ ആണ് ആര് കടന്നു പോകുന്നതും ആ യങ് ലേഡിയും. ദ ഓൾഡ് വിമൺ ഇസ് എ റൈറ്റർ. ഇറ്റ് ഈസ് ഹെർ ഡാഷ്ഡ് ഡ്രീംസ് ദാറ്റ് ടേക്ക് ഹെർ ടു ദി ന്യൂസ്. ഇറ്റ് ഈസ് ദ സെയിം ഫ്രസ്ട്രേഷൻ ദാറ്റ് ദ ഗേൾ ബോട്ടിൽസ് ഇൻസൈഡ് ഹെർ. ലൈക്ക് ദ ഓൾഡ് വിമൺ, വി നോ ദാറ്റ് ദ ഗേൾ ടു വുഡ് ബി എ സർവൈവർ ആൻഡ് വിൽ ഗ്രോ സാഡർ ബട്ട് എ വൈസർ പേഴ്സൺ. When her husband enters the room, she is having a good look at her vein of memory, and this somehow hints at her own struggles with her marital life, identity, and existence as a woman. Her struggle to harmonize her dreams, chase her dreams and desires with the circumstances that she finds herself in.